Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make your very own cake pop flower pot. This creation is great for spring, could be used as a centerpiece for Easter or as a Mother's Day gift, so let's begin. The first step is to bake a cake. Today I'm using Duncan Hines confetti cupcakes. The directions are for cupcakes, but the mix could also be used to make a cake, so I baked that, and then you're also going to need some icing. So once the cake is completely cooled, that's an important step. Make sure the cake is cooled. Then you're going to take a fork or another utensil and crumble it up into a large bowl, and you're going to want to crumble it until there are no more big chunks. Then you're going to add a third of this container of icing into the mixture of crumbled up cake. A third of the container is probably about 3 or 4 tablespoons of icing. This one here is cream cheese flavored because I find it's not as sweet, but it also tastes good to use white frosting with the confetti cake. That's what I've used before, just a tip, but it's a lot sweeter. Then you're going to mix it up until it creates a dough consistency, so just knead the icing into the crumbled up cake and then you'll get the dough. So the next step is to roll the dough into 1-inch round balls. It helps to use a spoon to scoop out the right proportions so that the size is consistent. This step is the most time consuming, especially for someone like me who's a perfectionist, but the final product is so delicious that it's worth it, I promise, and you can keep yourself preoccupied with the TV or some music. Now, once all your balls are rolled, I made approximately 26 by the way, you're going to pop them into the fridge for about 20 minutes just to firm up before we do our next step. Now for the decorating, which is the fun part, you're going to need some colored chocolate melts, some cake pop sticks, some sprinkles if you wish, and that's about it. So I'm taking a microwavable bowl. I like this one because it has a handle and it's deep enough for the melting process. I mixed some purple and white to create a lighter purple, and I put it in the microwave for 30-second intervals, and I stirred it in between, and then I got some melted chocolate, which is this beautiful purple color, so perfect for spring. Now to cover each pop in chocolate, you want to first dip the tip of the stick in chocolate before dipping it into the cake ball because it will act as a glue so it doesn't fall off. Trust me, it's happened before. Then you're going to submerge the ball completely in the chocolate, swirl it around, and then when you pull it out, allow the excess chocolate to drip off. This is very important because you want it to be thinly covered in chocolate, and you can lightly tap the stick to the side of the bowl to help the chocolate drip off a little bit faster, but just be patient so that it's smooth. Then I have a mug on the side full of water, and I'm just going to lean it against the side of the heavy mug. Don't use like a plastic cup because it'll tip over. Trust me, that's happened before too. But a heavy mug allows the cake pop to stand up straight and dry properly. And then you're just going to continue this same process to cover all of the cake balls. Stirring it each time allows the chocolate to remain the same consistency. Also, with practice, you'll get better at covering them in chocolate. It definitely took me a little while to develop this technique, but practice makes perfect and you'll get better with each one. Also, if you plan to add sprinkles, you want to do that immediately after you dip it in the chocolate so that they stick, and then it's off back into the fridge for another 20 minutes for the chocolate to harden. Now to turn these cake pops into a flower arrangement, you'll need a flower pot, which I got from the dollar store, along with this tissue paper and this plastic grass, which I found there too, or some green foam if you can't find the plastic grass, and then finally some scissors. So this ball of plastic grass was $2 at the dollar store and worked out perfectly for this DIY because I just shoved it into the flower pot and it worked out perfectly, and it was dense enough to hold up the cake pops, but if not, you can use some foam. Then with the orange and yellow tissue paper, I cut it into about 2-inch squares. Then I took a couple pieces at a time, folded it diagonally, and then in half again and again until it's an eighth. Then I just cut out the edges into a rounded petal-like shape, and then when I opened it up, it looked like a flower. Then finally right here I'm making a little snip in the center both ways so that it's like a little X so that it's easier to slide onto the stick of the cake pop, and then that's it. I just slid it on and arranged them in the flower pot. I think it looks so cute. It could be a centerpiece or a gift. I love this so much, so leave me a comment below, tell me what you think. Give this video a thumbs up, and I hope you guys all enjoyed. Bye!